Hello and welcome to Mad Owl Goes Racing, and today we're back in Automobilista 2 having a look at the 0.9.7 beta update, and we'll have a quick read through the changelog. I'll just remind myself what it said. That's up there. Yeah, I'll read that in a minute. Right, changelog. General. If I can actually focus on this, because I've just had an ocular migraine and I've still got a bit of the old fairy lights going on, but added custom pit speed limits per series regulations. Baseline is 60 kilometers per hour for national and club series, 100 kilometers an hour for modern formulas, and 250 kilometers an hour for historic content. Now they can actually change these on a per car and per track basis, so they're still open to a little bit of debate on what's best to do, because obviously some of the tracks, as you come into them, they'll have a speed limit sign, and if the speed limit sign and your actual limit don't coincide, some people might get confused. Well, turn the pit limiter on and there's no confusion, or read what it says. I don't know, but for those wondering, 250 kilometers an hour for the classic stuff is, or historic content, is about 156 miles an hour. So basically you don't have to slow. If you get a drive through, you're going to do it in no time at all. But yeah, that's an interesting addition. Obviously some cars don't have a pit limiter anyway, so you can't really have a pit limit applied if you don't know how fast you're going, because obviously they don't have speedos either. So there you go. Corrected series class grouping and grouping within series, so different models are sorted in the grid when series feature cars of different classes, or randomised when they are the same class. So basically that's just the order they're on the grid. Generally what happens is they tend to, I think this is still true, they tend to have it so like all of one class is together. So that if they've qualified, even if another class is slightly faster, it will still be in its own grouping, which I'm not sure if they've done it that way or done it the other way. But some people do complain about it, but at the end of the day, if it's a class-based race, you're only really racing against people in the same class. So unless somebody's got an overall as well. But disabled visual ghost effect in pit lane and pit exit. So presumably you'll no longer have that slightly weird pixelated ghosting, which did look a bit strange. UI and HUD, fixed vehicle info for Formula Classic Gen 3 M1 and Gen 3 M3 and the MRX. Physics, revised adhesive friction curve with velocity for all tyres. Now, I can't remember which bit the adhesive bit applies to. The grip of the tyres is made up of several different components effectively, and you have to get the balance between them right, and how the different properties are affected by different things like temperature and saturation levels and everything changes. So different parts of it are affected in different ways by temperature, saturation, etc. So you have to get that balance right, and they made some changes. Reduced wheel contact factor reduces chances of exploding collisions with wheel-to-wheel contact. Again, that was reduced once before. They've obviously decided it's still a bit excessive, so save you getting spat across the other side of the planet when you touch wheels with another car. Fixed minor tread width inaccuracies in the Formula Classic Formula Trainer tyres. Well, we'll have a look to see what difference that and the other change in adhesive friction has made in Formula Trainer in a minute. Does help if you've got the right size tyres as well, because obviously that can have an effect. Hopefully you can't hear somebody hoovering downstairs, because I've shut the door and I've turned off the automatic gain control on my mic, so hopefully this comes out alright. Otherwise I'm going to have to redo it and I'll look a bit of a, as always. Yep. Further car-specific FFB fine-tuning of max force smoothing scrubber radius. Sometimes my English is bloody awful. Further engine inertia revisions, whether that's more, less, or just different. Could it be some of one way, some of another? AI, a reduced AI lifting off throttle over puddles. I thought they were quite reasonable the other day, but reduced wall check function, so AI is less wary when driving close to walls. I don't like ice creams either, or sausages. I don't know if that'll have any significance to anybody else who does know what Wall's ice cream or Wall's sausages are, but there you go. Basically, when you get near a wall, you obviously don't want the AI to suddenly go, "Ooh," and start veering away from it and getting in your way and generally being a pain in the bum. So I assume that's just to allow them to get closer so there's more room on the rest of the circuit for other people, although you never know. There are various theories on whether or not you should go close to walls or stay away from them in terms of aero efficiency as well, and that may even change depending upon what car you're driving. I've seen claims both ways that it actually improves the aero and claims that it actually makes it worse, so your mileage may vary. Reduced ranges for AI drivers, inconsistency and performance loss from stamina over longer races. Yeah, they should get knackered the same as we do and make mistakes as the things go further through. You do get to the point where you start to lose concentration and your mind wanders, and then you... What was I talking about? Oh yeah, whatever. So yes, that's another thing which can be adjusted. So obviously the more professional drivers should have longer attention spans, if you like. I've moved it. Where did I go? Adjust AI steer smoothing to improve pit lane mobility. Adjusted AI grip multipliers for Velo Park, Adelaide, Azure, Montreal and Londrina. Audio. Fixed AI engine sound position being on wrong side for several, I presume it's meant to say AI cars. Added dedicated sound effect for grasscrete material. Fixed odd ducking of sounds over curbs, lessened crackling on tyre sound effects. Yeah, ducking is where if you've got sort of like some audio like from the game here, and I add audio from a mic, you can add ducking, which effectively, as I speak, it ducks the level of the other bit. I don't actually do that. I just have it set so it's reasonably can handle both at the same time, so it's not too loud, not too soft, hopefully. But yeah, it's, I had noticed it a few times where you'd go over a curb and suddenly everything sort of went a bit quiet. But, they fixed it now. Improved sound in stereo mode. Sounded like stereo already, but replay onboard engine audio properly positioned. Presumably in the replays the sounds are coming from slightly from not where they're meant to be. It's meant to be very positional. So, and when I say positional, I don't mean sort of point in a specific direction. I mean the position of the audio sources is aligned with where they are meant to be. So the exhaust should be sort of on the end of the exhaust, the engine intake and other rattles from your engine should be where the engine is, so where the block is. So if it's front engine, you should hear it ahead of you. If it's rear engine, you should be able to hear it behind you, because it's all positional. Starting sound correctly positioned. Okay, I presume that's starting sound of the starter motor cranking the engine. Tracks added stock car series trackside advertising for tracks in the 2019-20 calendar. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Vehicles added wiper animations for Ultima GTR, stock car V8, Super V8, Sprint Race, Caterham Academy, Lancer Cup, brackets, whip. Fixed driver animation in Formula Trainer, Formula Riza, fixed bug, restricting field to a single livery. Oh, you don't want single liveries, you know, you want lots of colours. Right, if I scroll back up the top, there are a couple of minor whip developments in this build to take note of. While several cars now have working wipers, several others still don't, and the wiper animation does not yet quite match the water being wiped from the windscreen. This naturally will be sorted soon, just a result of work unfinished. Another unfinished development is the placing of actual sponsors for the trackside advertising. Only the ones in the Brazilian stock car calendar have received these updates so far, but all other tracks will be updated with proper ads for the version 1.0 release. Well, we'll go and find a track that's in the calendar, and we'll drive a car that's had some work done on it, and see what happens. Right, so we'll just do a test and a few laps, and I think we'll change that weather to be something other than a bloody storm, because the last thing I want a nice sunny day, thank you very much. And that's definitely not in the Brazilian calendar, so I thought we'd go to, Santa Cruz? Yeah, we'll go to Santa Cruz. And the reason we're going there is because it's its birthday yesterday. Apparently the track was opened on the 12th of June 2005, so it was 15 years old yesterday. Happy birthday, Santa Cruz. You only come here for the entertainment value, don't you? Right, let's have a drive round. Yep. And what we got? Well, that still says Automobilista, that still says Riza, but I can see other things ahead. I think there's one on the left here somewhere. Yep. Lubrax, or Lubrax, or Lubrax, or yeah, you can make all sorts of words out of those letters, can't you? Now, there's some Chevrolet ones up there as well. Chevy being, by all accounts, quite a large South American and or Brazilian specifically manufacturer. I don't know if they actually have a manufacturing plant in Brazil, but I can't say I've spent a lot of time driving around here, so let's have a look. Toyota Gazoo Racing, Brazil. This is, I did have just a couple of laps around here just to make sure I was actually going in the right direction. And in the previous release, just to make sure that it's actually got some differences. One thing I will say, I'm sure it's got more grass. I'm sure they've added more. Look where you're going. More and longer grass. Pirelli, that Italian tyre manufacturer P0. And I actually quite like this circuit because it's got some elevation. It's got lots of little blind crests in various places. I did think it could actually do with the distance markers being a bit more over here. I'm sure there's more grass. I'm sure. At least I'm not talking about the trees. What trees? Don't talk about the trees. Another Chevy logo. More. If somebody could explain to me how you meant to pronounce that, whether it's Lubrax or Lubrax, or I can put all sorts of accents on it, La French, but that's probably not right because it's Brazilian. I don't do Portuguese accents. I've insulted enough people over the years with my weird accents. I usually end up sounding like a Welsh Indian. Pirelli again. So yeah, plenty of Chevy. Interesting they got them so that they don't actually point necessarily to you being able to see them when you're driving around. There are some that obviously they're for the spectators to be able to see, not necessarily for the people driving around, which is always an interesting one. we might say that yes, it's definitely got some appropriate signage, and we'll see what has been done with these tyres on this car. So prepare to go a little bit faster and probably crash and burn, knowing me. I'm still a bit confused about the gearbox on this. Ooh, I'll say one thing. The brakes definitely don't work when they're cold. Come on. Ouch. Yeah, the wrong way. Just doesn't show brake temperatures on here, does it? Oh, I bent the car. Stone cold brakes, they've definitely changed them so they don't work as well when they're stone cold. Oh, we'll just return to the pits and restart the session. Oops. And we'll try and warm the brakes up a bit as we're of course, stone cold tyres as well, so. Right, let's see if we can get some temperature in the tyres and me not drive like a complete prat. I know I'm very good at driving like a complete prat, but. Warm the tyres. It's up a bit. The tyres definitely feel more progressive. Oh. That might have my seating position a bit low. Couldn't actually see where the front of the car was. I've got a weird setup at all on this car. Feels alright. Keep forgetting it's only got a 4-speed gearbox. First might not be the best. Yeah, that's definitely more progressive, I think. So again, another nice little improvement. I really feel the front end loading up nicely as around the corner there. Well, that's a little bit sharper than I thought the first time. Not quite sure how fast to go around here, so try a little bit faster. That's really loading up nicely. I feel the edge of the grip quite nicely on that. And can see the tyres are already starting to wear a little bit on the front. It actually feels really nicely balanced now. Just feel quite tail happy, so too much curb, but it didn't do anything stupid on, which is the most important thing. I keep thinking I really want to go a bit faster out here, but try a later apex maybe. Oops, perfect without the grass, but yeah, that feels really, really nice. Seems to have a nice balance to it. Seems to have improved the balance of the car as well, so it's a little less prone to rotating at inopportune moments, shall we say. And the progression from cold to hot or warm, I don't know how warm the tyres are, I think they're quite nicely toasty now. Very nice progression of grip as the tyres warmed up, so that's looking really good. Obviously, how different it'll be on a dampening track, we'll find out, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'll leave that as an experiment for you to do. So that was 0.9.7.0, which I'm not sure if that's going to be EA or not. If it does, I'm sure all you with EA will see it showing up sooner rather than later. I don't know if there's going to be another minor update either today, but that's that. IMS 2 getting closer to release, looking really good. I'm not sure if they're going to get a championship in before release or whether that will come after, but I suspect they'll have to try and get it in for the 1.0, otherwise there might be a lot of people going, well, there's nothing to do. So hopefully that will show up in the next week or two. So for me, for now, stay safe, enjoy your racing, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.